Good morning, everybody. This is a joint ERCI ELCA webinar on battery and advanced material recycling for railway components. My name is Lutz Hübner from Berlin Partner for Business and Technology. We are one of the members of the European Railway Clusters Initiative. And at first, for sure, we give you a very short introduction what ERCI is and what ELCA is. This is the agenda of today. We will introduce to you a planned joint hack and match event. And after that, we will have some inspiring pictures covering our today's webinar topic. After that, we will have plenty of time for your questions and answers, and we will give a very short conclusion. And we wish you a most interesting webinar today. I'm starting with the European Railway Clusters Initiative. Short introduction on that. We are existing since 2010. Since 2022, we are a legal entity under Belgian law, and we are the leading meter cluster in the railway sector in Europe. Our members are cluster organizations all over Europe, 18 innovation-driven clusters and their ecosystems, which are operating in 17 European countries. And clusters are tools of the EU and national, regional, industrial, and research and innovation policies. And our cluster members, covering more than 3,000 companies, and more than 500 universities and research centers. Most of our member companies are small and medium-sized enterprises. Yeah, what about the services of ERCI? It is all about bringing customers, suppliers, and supply chain opportunities together. Our main goal is supporting small and medium-sized enterprises in partner management, in research and development activities, in discovering for them new market opportunities, in enhancing their visibility on international level, in discussing with them innovative topics due to our task forces about the topics, for instance, of cybersecurity, multimodal logistics, including also the topic of military mobility, green and sustainable mobility. We are providing networking opportunities such as this webinar and workshops, networking events, fairs, and business trips. And the yearly highlight of our activities are our annual ERCI Innovation Awards, which will be awarded this year during the InnoTrans Fair in Berlin this September. So our contact data are visible here. We are visible on the web, on LinkedIn, and for sure we have an email address. You will shortly find them in the chat. And now I will hand over the floor to my colleague Angus Dobson, and he is introducing ELCA, the European Lightweight Clusters Alliance.
Hi, Lutz. Thank you very much for that. Hi, everybody. Welcome today. Nice to see some people through there, looking through the people who have joined. So just an introduction to the ELCA network for those who don't know about it and to learn more about it. So please, can you go to the next slide, Lutz?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, the ELCA network is the European Lightweight Clusters Alliance. It's a pan-European network gathering the most important European hubs, working across lightweight materials and related manufacturing technologies. So essentially, the purpose within the ELCA network is to try and strengthen European leadership across said domains, such as both materials and also other areas. So this could be multi-materials, for example, polymers, metals, ceramics, or composites, and areas such as design, modeling, manufacturing, smart materials, etc., etc. So if you can go to the next slide, please.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yep. Oh, Okay, yeah, that's the right one. So there's a multi-material approach, multidisciplinary approach, and multi-sectoral approach. So this is kind of a summary of the scope, but of course there's always room for delving deeper into different types of materials. So as you can see there, I was already mentioned covering polymers, light metals, ceramics, composites, multidisciplinary, so across different areas within those materials, whether it be recycling or manufacturing or different techniques to look at materials, disassembly, modeling, functionalization, etc., etc. And through there, we have the working groups which look at all span across different sectors of the value chain. And within sectors, we have mobility, energy, building, and industry. This is also something that we're always looking to expand within, and like today, delving deeper into the mobility sector to do some joint activities with rail transport. So next slide, please, Lutz. This is just a bit of an idea about the ELCA network and where it accesses across Europe. So the ELCA network at the moment stands at around 16 nodes, which is basically made from research organizations and clusters from 13 countries. So yeah, it's, as you can see with the main clusters and RTOs, it's quite a big access across the whole European Union. And yeah, I think that's all for this slide. If you can go to the next one, please. So just a summary of the ELCA activities and goals. We fit under 4 domains, let's say. So funding and innovation support, network consolidation, visibility and promotion, and working groups. So the end goal is to have this network to combine together and co-develop ideas, leading to whether it's European projects, collaborative projects, working on R&D activities, business development, cross-collaborating on events together. As well as that, there's also work as in within the first domain, which is to help mobilize additional large-scale funding, whether it be across the Horizon Europe programs or Interreg or EMEA, etc., different European programs, and also trying to help the network work on innovation design challenges, helping with their ideas to increase technological readiness level and get closer and closer to the market potential. Also, as of today as well, so as you can see, there's also organizing and hosting interactive workshops, so trying to help get more exposure to the network and more access to other networks to cross collaborate with meta clusters, as we're doing today with the ERCI. And also to help share and promote success stories in the lightweighting field, so to get further exposure for the network and to understand how we can collaborate externally as well as internally. And on to the next slide, please. So yeah, if you'd like to find a bit more about the Alliance, feel free to contact us through the QR code there. You should find the website. And I have placed a couple of email addresses there for the ELCA general email and also myself. We'd be more than happy to have an introductory call or explore a bit more about the network and learn more about yourselves. So yeah, thank you very much for your time. Now I think I'll hand back over to Lutz, and I would just like to make a quick comment before I hand over. I will place the link to the registration within the chat. And registering for this means you will then receive the follow-up document. So I will place that in the chat. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the contact data of ERCI and ELCA are already just in the chat. And I will hand over now to Irina. And Irina from DTEC Fair, one of our strongest members of ERCI, is introducing to you the joint Hack and Match event. Irina, the floor is yours.
Good morning. So we can move to the next slide. Good morning to everybody. My name is Irina Vesco, and I'm representing DTEC Fair, the Italian railway cluster. And within being a member of ERCI clusters, we decided to organize a joint hack and match event with ELCA. So this my presentation will cover this joint activity, and this hack and match event will be dedicated to the topic of battery and advanced materials recycling for mobility applications. And talking about mobility, we cover everything. So railway, logistics, any kind of, let's say, intermobility, intermodal, and so on. So we think to focus on recycling of batteries and recycling of complex plastics and composites. The idea, the event will take place on the 21st and 22nd of July. This is the 2 days event. It will be online, and furthermore, I will provide more details on that. So go on, please, Lutz. The idea was from our previous experience that we had in hack and match events. It started from the STARS project that was strategic alliances boosting railway SMEs, and this project was financed by European Union. It is already finished. But another project, that is Idealis project, is still ongoing, and it stands for free industrial ecosystems, tackling supply chains disruptions and boosting advanced technologies uptake by SMEs. So there are 14 partners from Europe that join together. We have different activities within this project that we organize. One of them are the hack and match events. So in case you are interested to discover more about it, about what industrial ecosystems we cover and what we organize, please visit the website of Idealis project. So starting from this experience, we decided to move on and organize a joint webinar, hack and match event. Move please the slide. And Lutz, can you move on?
Yeah.
So I will explain how, in fact, this event functions. So we launch, first of all, the call for challenges, and it will be open for a month. During this call of challenges, any company is allowed to apply and describe its challenge, any problem, need that has within its company, and that is linked to the topic. We gather all these challenges, and then we launch the second call for solutions. Also, it will be open during 1 month, and in which we describe and present the list of challenges that we have received, and we ask two solution providers to apply, selecting the challenges in which they are interested in, to select and afterwards participate in the event that we will organize on July 21st and 22nd. It will be an online event in which we will let's say all applicants will be announced, of course, before to join. We will provide all the instructions, and during these 2 days they will have it will be divided according to the challenges, and the solution providers will meet challenge providers and will propose their solutions. So the work will be done, let's say they will work in teams. If you can move on, please. We have, as I told, this event will be only online, so it is very, let's say, easy to be engaged in. So there are a few time slots when you are obliged to be. And during the rest of the days inside the team, each, let's say, decides how to, when and at what time to meet again and continue to work. So go on. I will say more about the next slide, please, Lutz. About the challenge provider, how to know who are you. So you maybe don't know to which part you can be, let's say, as applicant. So in case you are a company, a startup, or a small or large company, it doesn't matter, and you have a need to solve and you don't know how to solve it, and your need could be linked to the topic of battery and advanced material recycling, so please apply. So you have to fill in the form and just wait until we will contact you, let's say, confirming that you are participant. So just you have to save the date for the 2 days of Hack and Match and get prepared for that. Next slide. In case you're a solution provider, so you have to see the challenges. So of course, this company, solution providers, usually tech-savvy SMEs, innovative companies that are using advanced technologies, different, let's say, last updated innovative solutions. So they know how they could probably solve that challenges. So they fill the form. They, of course, there is the deadline. Each call has its deadline. So they fill the form, and we will contact them to provide more instructions about the Hack and Match event. So just save the date and be sure to be available during that 2 days. Next slide. So this is, let's say, how the work will be organized. As I told, the number of challenges will be equal to number of teams. Each team will be composed of the leader, that is the challenge provider, and also from the solution providers. It could be one or more solution providers, and they discuss, present. There is, let's say, an interaction between them, and they finally develop a final solution from the team that is presented during the closure event of the second day. Please go on. Each team will be assisted, of course, by tutors. So the tutors will be the members of the clusters from ELCA and ERCI, and they will assist each team in interaction and, let's say, to manage the whole process. And after that, each team will present and prepare 2 deliverables. Next slide. One is a document of 3 pages in Word that describes the problem and the solution. And the second one is the presentation in PowerPoint that, let's say, in 5 slides that summarize very shortly the developed solution. So everything, these 2 documents are delivered by the end of the second day and presented during the closure meeting. Next slide. Okay, so then the next step will be the evaluation. So we will assign specific expert professionals from our 2 meta clusters that will evaluate each team, so each solution, according to specific criteria of evaluation criteria. And after that will be, let's say, summarizing the votes. We will see who is the official winner of the Hack and Match and who is the Codicor. The awarding ceremony we plan to hold on during the InnoTrans fair. That will take place from the 22nd to 25th of September. The exact date we will, of course, announce in advance. Maybe next in 2 months we will have more details on that side. So during that fair we will announce the winners. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, so this is what, in summary, what is the Hack and Match. And I remind you that the first call of challenges will be launched on the 18th of March. So it's in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. Please think about that. If you have any issue in your company, any need, that you can apply and in fact have a solution from a real solution from a company that maybe you never mind that could be your potential solution providers. So this is the chance for everybody. It's free of charge. Please participate, and in case of any question, do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Irina, for this good introduction of our joint ERCI ELCA Hack and Match event. Starting on the 18th of March of May, for sure, with a call for challenges. The main topic are battery and advanced material recycling for mobility applications, not only covering the railway sector, but the whole mobility sector. Subtopics are recycling of batteries and recycling of complex plastics and composites. So, if you have some questions, you might use the chat function to indicate your questions to Irina and also to indicate your questions to our pitching presentations. And I now hand over to our first pitch. And it is from Mats from TXO. And when I opened his mini bio, I can see that Mats studied economics and governance at Wageningen University in the Netherlands, where he first came into contact with the topics of the circular economy and resource economics. He later continued to explore these topics during his master's program, Sustainable Change, and the Environmental Campus Birkenfeld. Alongside his master's studies, he worked for the municipal administration of Solingen and managed to manage some publicity-funded projects, Bergisch Circular and FAB region. In his role, he focused on circular construction and developed measures to help make municipalities more circular. Since the beginning of the year, he has been working at the TXO group as a project manager for cable and rail infrastructure. And now I'm finished. Mats, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lutz. Yeah, maybe you've already seen it from the title slide. I'm not directly talking about advanced materials directly, as you can usually know about copper and the material itself, but it is critical. So I will talk today about the main focus we have on copper cable recycling, especially in the rail infrastructure. And next slide, please.
Yes.
So as I mentioned, it's not particularly advanced, but copper is a strategic raw material in the EU since 2023. And I'm just gonna show you this graph because it shows quite vividly that when we talk about this material, it has become much more valuable over the last years. And it became from this type of, okay, it's always there, this mostly overlooked metal in the beginning of the year to becoming quite valuable with around 12,000 euros per ton in 2026. And the main reason for this is that it has such a widespread use in electrical applications, and it's quite hard to substitute. It's what it does very well. It's not hard to find good replacement. And the volume of copper has been increasing over the last years. We had 20 million tons of copper usage in 2020 in Europe alone, and the EU Commission expects that it will increase in 2050 by more than 50%. So it is very valuable, and for us, as our story begins, next slide, please. We started quite early to the low start of the valuable copper material in 2007 as a company called Techport Service GmbH, and we mainly focus on the telecommunication sector in Germany. We worked with Deutsche Telekom, and we were mainly focusing on the topic of collection, transport, and logistical handling of the cables. And since then, we continuously moved on and made a shift towards a more full-service approach. So we had more aspects along the circle than when we started. And we also, and now the transformation to rail, we explored new branches. So we came into the rail sector and found out that basically the process we have established over the last years in the telecommunication sector can be easily applied also in the rail sector. So all the processes we had already established were able to be transformed in the rail sector. Since 2024, we became part of the TXO group, and we had a much more international focus since then. We are still operating as a German entity in TXO, and we continuously widened our services in the rail sector. So now we have around 40 employees in Germany, 450 worldwide in 13 locations and 5 continents. And if I want to sum up our main goal, it's we manage the complex recycling chain for infrastructure operators end-to-end economically and sustainably, always in line with the circular economy. That's basically what we do, what is our daily process. Next slide, please. So when I want to break it down to the individual parts, there's basically always one starting point, as you can say. It's always the part of, okay, there's one large modernization project going on by an infrastructure operator, and this generates usually a high volume of obsolete technology. And in our experience, the focus is mainly on, okay, how do we build the new modernized infrastructure? We have cost pressure, we have time pressure, and the recovery and the recycling of the material is often not as much in focus. So that's where we come in. We, as TXO, take care of the obsolete technology and provide all types of parts to it. So first of all, next slide, please. First of all, we start with the potential analysis. So what type of material do we have? Where do we find it? How can we access it? And oftentimes, the earlier we are invited into the process, the more materials can we recover at the end of the whole process. So if you want to get us on board, the earlier the better, basically. And with the potential analysis, with the business plan and project plan, we can start the dismantling process where we work closely with subcontractors, which we have already worked in for more than 15 years. So we know them very well. They know what we expect from them. And from that, we move on to the collection points where we store the valuable materials. We have regular security checks on this collection point, so we know the materials are safe there. And from there, we move on to the transportation of the materials to the reuse and recycling facilities, or we prepare the material for resale. So what type of value is still in the materials, we try to shift it in the right direction. Next slide, please. And finally, we come to the point of the reporting. We make an assessment on the material saved, the CO2 emissions saved, and also the whole transparent process. How did we get the materials? What is ended up as waste? What is ended up as recycling material, etc., etc. At the end, next slide, please. Our main benefits are economic efficiency, mainly due to the efficient process we have established, but also the copper material has such a big value that it can offset the cost of the whole project planning and management of the materials. We create clean networks. So after that, you can use you can use the infrastructure again and use it for the modernization projects, put in new cables and other technological aspects. And of course, we can create a secondary stream of copper. So we don't need necessarily to extract virgin copper from the mines, which reduces CO2 emissions as well. Next slide, please.
No, I guess that was the last one.
Oh, okay. Usually there comes two to it. I'm just gonna make a quick switch. Oh, one moment. You can see it?
Yes.
So when we talk about a project we did 2 years ago, we worked with Stadtwerke Bonn. It's a small train facility, a train company in North Rhine-Westphalia, and there you can, for example, see we had 3 locations along the road. First one near the train station, where we had a 4-kilometer long lane. We generated around 150 kilometers of cable, and we generated around 64 tons of copper cable. In the second part, it's Rheinuferstraße Vorgebirgsstrecke. That's the part where we looked into. We generated around 67 tons of copper on a road of 7.5 kilometers distance. And in Königswinter, the road to the south, and the third part, we mainly made space for new cables inserted into the cable ducts. So it is more of a cost-saving procedure. So you don't need to buy new or build new cable ducts, so you can just use the old ones again. And just to show you some impressions. It should work. One moment. Here. That's basically what it looks like. On the left side, you have personnel that identifies the cables. We look into the switching stations, check if they're still if the cables are still in use. If not, we can cut them. And later on, we have a temporary storage, mostly of the cables, or as you see in the central right, we prepare material for the resale of it. So every time we look into the projects, we already know, okay, this can be resold, this can be recycled, this roughly the amount, how can we exit it, etc., etc. And at the end, for this particular case, we made a certificate of the amount of CO2 emissions saved and the amount of copper saved. And it was also acknowledged by the local news, where they made an article about how does urban mining actually work, and took our project as an example of the whole process. And yes, that's for my part. My colleague Eike, he will join at the UK Rail, and he will be presenting also in the panel discussion. So if you have any more detailed questions, just talk to him directly at the UK Rail, hopefully, or you can just email us and call us for any further detailed questions. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you much. Sorry for the missing slides. For sure, afterwards I will put it into the presentation, and then I will send a follow-up email to all of the participants with the complete material.
Of course. But I think now we're on your slide, right? So
yes, yes.
well. Okay,
I
perfect.
already did it. I already
Perfect.
did it. So now I will hand over to Anders to introduce some pictures coming from the part of the ELCA beta cluster. Angus, can you hear?
Hi
us?
there. Yeah, can
Yes.
you hear me? Hi, sorry. Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you very much for that pitch. That was very interesting. So next, moving on to the second pitch, and this will be now presented by Tony Lara Perez from EURECAT Facilities. So Tony is a senior researcher product innovation and multi-physics simulation unit. And yeah, so the presentation today, which I think I can hand straight over to Tony, is going to be on modular and easy to disassemble battery pack design to be scaled for different vehicle segments. And I believe this is through the Marble project. But please, Tony, you can take the floor.
Okay, thank you, Angus. Okay, so the idea is to present the battery design that we performed in the European project Marble. Okay, that ended last year. Okay, please, Lutz. Okay, this is the battery of the Marble. Okay, then if you can click Lutz, because this battery, it's modular, it's lightweight. Also, it's thermally optimized and easy to assemble and disassemble. Okay, and in this presentation, I will explain the modularity and the easy to assembly and disassembly. Okay, next slide, Lutz. Okay, this is the battery. Okay, the battery pack. Also, if you can click the presentation, it appears. Okay, there are the housing that it's from aluminum. The modules, the cooling system, the electric bus bars to connect the different modules, the electronic components, and finally the connectors. Okay, next slide. Okay. Thank you. Regarding the modularity of the battery, okay, we built two different batteries. One battery of 800 volts and another battery of 400 volts, and we use the same aluminum profiles for the housing, okay, the lateral and the bottom profiles, and also the turrets. The difference between the two types of battery, it's only the length of the profiles and also the machining of the front profile that it's to use with the connectors. Okay, next slide, Lutz. Okay, regarding the modules, okay, we use the same modules for the two batteries, and the only difference between the two batteries are the number of modules. Okay, in the case of 800 volts, we use 52 modules, and in case of 400 volts, we use only 16 modules. Next slide. Regarding the electric bus bars, the electronic components, and also the connectors, we use the same bus bars between the different modules, the same electronic boards, and the same type of connectors and DC box. And the only difference between one battery and the other battery is the bus bars that go from the modules to the junction box itself, and also the number of connectors and electronic boards. Next slide. Regarding the cooling system, we use the same cooling distribution and the same top and bottom cooling channels. Okay, and the only difference between the two batteries are the length of these cooling channels or cooling profiles. Next slide. And finally, regarding the cover, also we use the same aluminum sheet and top cover stiffeners for the two batteries. And again, the only difference between one and the other battery are the length of this sheet and also the number of the stiffeners. Okay, next slide. Now regarding the easy to assemble and disassemble, here we explain about the battery pack. Okay, the battery pack, the housing was a fully aluminum housing, easy to disassembly and easy to recycle. And we use an aluminum and 60-63 aluminum with a 60% of recycled aluminum. Okay, next slide. Regarding the modules, all the modules was screwed to the housing, so we can repair, we can substitute one module if it's necessary. Next slide. Regarding all the electronic bus bars, electronic components, and also the connectors, all the connectors are screwed, okay? We avoid the welded connections to improve the disassembly, but also the disassembly of the battery. Next slide. The cooling system also was screwed, okay? The distribution, all the distribution of the cooling system was screwed in the housing. And in this case, we use two cooling systems, one in the bottom of the battery pack to cool the modules, and another one in the top of the modules, okay, to cool the bus bars of the battery. And this top channels was only supported by the modules. Next slide. And finally, regarding the cover, also the cover was screwed to the housing. So the same principle to assembly the battery, we can use to disassembly the battery in reverse. Okay, and next slide, it's regarding the modules. Okay, in case of the modules, we use 12 cells. We use also the cooling fins and cooling pads to cool the cells, and also the compression pads. Next slide. We use also all housing components from aluminum, and also all these components are screwed, so we can disassemble, and also we can change one module and also one cell if it's necessary to repair, not only to easy disassemble the battery, also to repair the battery. Okay, and next slide. All the electronic and the electric components are bolted. Okay, also we avoid, as I say before, the welded connections, so we can remove these electric and electronic components to repair or to remove one cell if this cell has some problem. And finally, the next slide, Lutz. It's regarding the top lid. Okay, this top lid, it's needed to cool down the bus bars, and also it's screwed to the housing. So we can use the same procedure in reverse to dismantle the full module and also the full battery. And I think that it's all. Yes, it's all from my side.
Great. Thank you very much, Tony. And yeah, just as a reminder to those who would like to ask questions, there will be time at the end, or feel free to write them in the chat. Okay, so I believe now we'll be moving on to our next picture, Agnieszka. So yeah, so Agnieszka Matuszak is the project manager at the Bydgoszcz Industrial Cluster Tool Valley. And so this is a member of the ELCA network. And Agnieszka has over 15 years of experience. She collaborates with businesses across manufacturing, trade, and services to drive employee development at all levels. She designs and delivers training programs, organizes conferences, and builds strong, lasting business relationships. She specializes in creating and coordinating externally funded projects, both national and international, while leading their communication, dissemination, and exploitation activities to maximize and reach impact. So, Agnieszka, the floor is yours.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Today I will try to explain you a little bit what we as cluster do and what our members can offer to railway sector. The next slide, please. So, founded in 2006, BIC is a dynamic industrial cluster specializing in tooling for plastic processing, plastic manufacturing, and recycling. Operating primarily in Poland's Kujawsko-Pomorskie region, BIC brings together a strong ecosystem of 174 members, including enterprises, mostly small and medium-sized ones, business support institutions, R&D units, and individual members. Certified with the prestigious Gold Label Cluster Management Certificate, BIC stands for excellence in collaboration and innovation. Its core mission focuses on integrating stakeholders, promoting the sector, advancing education, and strengthening the competitiveness of the plastic industry through international exploitation and research and development. The next slide, please. So, the Kujawsko-Pomorskie region has the highest density of tooling and polymer processing companies in Poland, and among the highest in Central Europe. There are over 900 sector companies operating in the region. This is why it's often called a tool valley, and this is why we have this tool valley in our cluster logo. Specializing in advanced solutions for the plastic industry, BIC focuses on designing and producing specialized tools for plastic processing, high-quality plastic manufacturing, and efficient mechanical recycling. By combining engineering expertise with a strong commitment to sustainability, it supports the full life cycle of plastic materials, from processing to responsible reuse. The next slide, please. Members of the cluster provide injection molds and other tools for polymer processing. They manufacture a variety of products for other branches, including automotive, medical products, cosmetics, electronics, home appliance, packaging, and many others. Our members also produce master batches, coloring agents, and modifiers, and supply plastic granules, machinery, equipment, and software solutions. They also provide services of assembly, packaging, storing, and recycling. By doing so, we create a value chain and a network of close collaboration that allows us to perform joint activities across many areas of the business. Next slide. The collaboration between the tool and processing industry and the rail sector unlocks a vast field of innovation. From rolling stock components to infrastructure systems, precision tooling is the foundation of modern rail mobility. Our solution bridges the gap between the tooling and plastic processing industry and the rail sector by delivering end-to-end support, from design and prototyping to serial production and component lifecycle maintenance. Next slide, please. Injection molding and advanced tooling enable the production of critical interior and functional components for trains, trams, and metros. Applications can include control panels and housing, seat structures and arm sets, wall and ceiling panels, lighting enclosures, luggage shelves and interior fittings, cable protection systems, and electronic housing. Plastic are now essential in both passenger and driver cabin environments. Next slide. Rail systems demand durability under extreme conditions. Tooling solutions support the production of sealing systems, vibration damping components, shock absorbs, insulation, and protective elements. Precision rubber tooling ensures safety, comfort, and long-term operational reliability. Next slide, please. Modern tooling is not just manufacturing, it's an engineering partnership. Better design means smarter production from day one. Key capabilities: geometry optimization for performance and cost, material selection advisory, injection flow simulation, quality improvement strategies, tooling cost reduction, and lifecycle optimization. Next slide. Speed matters in rail innovation. We enable rapid prototype tooling, 3D printed mold, insert and components, pilot production runs, technology validation testing, from idea to functional prototype in record time. Next slide. Tooling performance does not end at production launch. We provide mold refurbishment and regeneration, design modification and upgrades, rapid and maintenance services, cycle time and process optimization, extending tool life while improving production efficiency. Next slide. Rail industrial materials must meet the highest regulatory standards. We design plastic and components complying with fire-resistant requirements, anti-slip surfaces, high-voltage insulation, crash energy absorption systems. Safety is engineered into very detail. Next slide. Sustainability is becoming a core engineering requirement. Opportunities that we include are use of recycled polymer where applicable, support for ESG performance reporting, reduce material waste through optimized tooling, and eco-efficient production strategies. Engineering responsibility meets industrial performance. Next slide. Tooling expertise extends across the entire rail ecosystem. Cable protection systems, single housing enclosures, platform components, technical cabinets, and junction boxes. Infrastructure is just as development on precision manufacturing as vehicles. Next slide. The tool-making industry is a silent backbone of serial rail manufacturing. Combined with 3D printing for prototyping and local supply chain advantages, it enables faster development cycles, cost-efficient production, stronger regional sourcing because of the local content, and resilient and scalable manufacturing ecosystems. Without tooling, there is no product. With the right tooling partner, there is innovation. Probably we will go to the last slides.
Yes.
Yeah. So the high quality and expensive scope of the offered services is a result of technological advancement and innovative approach of the cluster members and the cluster's close collaboration with R&D units. Owing to this, our companies supply products to the largest global companies operating in various branches of industry to almost all European markets. We invite you to do the business with us. Thank you.
So I wait for 2 seconds for Angus. Thank you, Agnieszka, for this interesting insights to your cluster structure and topics and so on. It was very interesting to us. And I'm asking Angus if there is an additional pitch.
From what I gather, I believe there was some interest from Martin. Let me check. Martin Kerdver from RISE, but I believe, from what I've heard.
Yeah,
okay.
I see him here
Yes.
as a participant.
Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, it's thank you very much, Martin. I believe it's a bit of a last minute entry, so we're very appreciative and be happy to share something.
Yeah, I can just pitch shortly who we are. I just need to reopen the slide here and share with you. And I can send it to you afterwards.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
And now you disappeared, of course, because I
just waiting for switching for sharing the screen. I will give the information to all the audience that you still are invited to use the chat function for your questions.
Yes.
Yes.
I am part of RISE, the Research Institutes of Sweden, where we have gathered a large group of what previously was smaller institutes in specialized area into one institute conglomerate. And in the sustainable production area, we are working the division of material and production technology, and we work quite a lot with sustainable production system development and circular production. We're part of Express together with KTH, Mälardalen University and Sverim. So we have quite a lot of battery research in all this organization. And I have the links to both of these here. And in this area, we are currently we have a lab for disassembly and reverse logistics. So we have the Swedish manufacturing clusters, where I am the coordinator for production logistics, and Sandra Mattsson is the coordinator for the assembly cluster. Now we're looking into R&D projects for disassembly and reverse logistics. So we look into, for the battery part, we look into R&D and how to measure state of safety in the field in order to get the batteries home. Digital visual instructions that should be possible to use independent on what language the people who have to handle these things all over Europe speak. How can we get the batteries back? How can we assess them before we start opening them so they are safe? And then automated and semi-automated disassembly and sorting and reusing parts or recycling parts. We have a quite a large safety lab where we can also try to blow up batteries and things like that, just to see how they burn, etc. But here we're trying to not do that, so we want to open them. And we're not, in this case, I'm not involved in the different recycling technologies. Sverim does that quite a lot, though. And we also have life cycle assessment expertise to see, is it sustainable? So that's just shortly who we are. And so this is not a full-scale project, but maybe it's a piece of the puzzle in any of your projects and so on. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, Martin, for jumping in last minute there.
Mm.
Okay. Now I think
Okay.
we'll pass on to Lutz, no?
Yes. Yeah, thank you very much. Also, Martin, for your short explanation of your institution, and it was very interesting. And I'm coming up now to a short Q&A session. And I'm not sure whether Guido is available, or are you ready to take over the part of the Q&As, or should I proceed? So I will proceed. And Guido had a question directly to Agnieszka if they are exhibiting during the InnoTrans fair this year in Berlin, but Agnieszka already typed the answer into the chat. It's not the plan at the moment, if I'm right, that is that you are exhibiting at the InnoTrans fair. But for sure, you must be there at least as a visitor. And remembering Poland and Bydgoszcz, I know if I go by train from Berlin to Gdansk for exhibiting during the Trapo fair, I every time passing Bydgoszcz, for sure, which is very famous also for railway production in Poland, and at least two of the ERCI clusters are exhibiting during the Trapo fair every 2 years, but not in this year, but in the next year again. And maybe we meet there, or for sure we will meet during the InnoTrans as well. You are invited. Several clusters of ERCI will be present there. So coming now to some questions. There are two questions to Ulrika. The first one is, what is the main advantage of designing a modular battery pulleys?
Yeah, the main advantage in this case is the reuse of components. No, for example, we can, as I mentioned before, no, we can use the same profiles for the different types of different size of batteries. So we only build one dies, okay, for the extrusion profiles, and we can reuse these dies for all the batteries. Also, there is a lot of components, as I say, you know, the modules itself, but also the electronic components that we can reuse for the two batteries. So it's the main advantage is to reuse components and to reuse the housing profiles.
Yeah, my question is, what is the proportion of reused materials for this battery?
Reuse in the case of the modularity, did you mean?
Yeah.
As I said before, we use the housing, we use the same profile. So we use the same dies, okay, the same extrusion dies to build the both batteries. So we can use for the housing, we reuse all the components. Also, all the electronic boards, the bus bars, and the different components of the modules are the same. So the only thing that changed from one battery to the other battery was the junction box, okay, one electronic component, and also the bus bars from the modules to the junction box, and from the junction box to the connectors. The connectors we use the same, and the only thing that changed was the number. So only maybe I don't know how to, but know which number, but 90% of the components was the same for the both batteries.
Yeah. Next question: what do you think that the batteries that are currently used are not designed to be easy to assemble and disassemble?
Yeah, as all in life, not all was good. No, there are also some drawbacks in use these mechanical joints. Okay, because in mechanicals, if you want to replace the welded joints to mechanical joints, you need more space, okay, to fix, to screw and to this and to remove these bolted components. So the space that you need for the battery are more, and it's more difficult pack the batteries. It's for that if you has a reduced space to put the battery, this easy to assemble and disassemble strategy, it's maybe not good, no, but also has another advantage, no, because we test the battery, and we test the battery in a thermal runaway situation, and the advantage, no, of these spaces between the modules that you need to fix, no, and to screw all the components. It's good for the thermal runaway, no, because we have problems only with one module, and we don't have a propagation of this thermal runaway from one module to the rest of the battery. So the main drawback is the space that you need, no, to bolt of these components. But as I say before, there are some benefits. That it's the main benefit is to disassembly, but also in a thermal runaway situation, you also has benefits from this kind of batteries.
And one of your pictures in the slides, I saw an electric vehicle plugged on the charging station. Is this the only application case for your concept of batteries, or have you further application cases, maybe also for electric trains and so on, for battery trains? And what do you think?
The main advantage of the modular battery is that it's for a cars, different type of cars, because we can use the 400 volts battery for one segment of cars, little cars, and also we can use the 800 volts battery for another segment of the cars. But also we can use the same battery for a bus or for a train, no? Because it's a modular battery. You can increase the battery if it's necessary, so you can build the battery as you want.
Yeah. So then I have at least two questions to Mats from TXO. Which companies are you currently working with, Mats?
Yes, thank you very much, Lutz. So currently we are working with metro providers in the larger cities in Germany. So I just showed you the example of Bonn, but it's also in Stuttgart and Cologne, in Nuremberg. So they are the smaller sized companies in regard to the rail systems, but we also work with OEMs such as Siemens Mobility, and we just started now to expand also in the international market and with first projects in Salzburg in Austria, and are also piloting in France. So what we experienced now for the last couple of years is that this the process we have established is easily applicable to all types of partners, so smaller scale and also larger scales, as well as OEMs, and it's also applicable in Germany and also in other parts in Europe. So this is kind of the range of partners we are currently working with.
Yeah. Second question, who do you sell copper cables once recovered through urban mining? And the second question, and what's your business model? And the third question, do you share revenues with the clients?
Yes, thank you very much. I will take the chance and invite my colleague Eike for this question. He just joined, and he will also be the one who's at the UK rail. So if you, I give him the floor on the introduction.
Yeah, hi everyone, and thank you, Mats. So yes, so in the end, we produce with our partners copper granule, which we are selling to them. So they are buying the granule from us, which they produce, and with that, in the end, depending on the qualities we produce, they are producing new cables or selling it to the automotive industry or using it for different things. But we sell it to the recycling facility, which is our partner. And our business model is in the end so what we're doing is we have a service, and the service is dismantling, identification, logistics, collection, and recycling resale in the end. And for that, in the end we have an invoice which we send to our customer. And on the other side, we generate revenues from the copper resale or from the resale of equipment which can be used. And normally, when even when we have bigger projects, the revenue we generate from the copper or from the resale is higher than our service costs. So we send a bill and we send a credit to them, and in the end, there's one transaction. And this transaction is the difference between the revenue, the extraordinary revenue, and the costs. So in the end, our customers receive money from us. And maybe also to the third part of the question, yes, of course. So in the end, our customers receive money, and this is kind of revenue share. So it's not directly that we say you get 10% of the copper. It's like the difference between our service costs and the big amount of revenue we generate from resale and recycling. This is what our customer gets in the end. So they don't have to pay anything, they receive money from us.
Yes, before I have more questions to you, I will switch to Agnieszka. There are two questions here. Where does your solution stand in terms of technology readiness, and how proven it is for industrial deployment?
Yeah, thank you, Luz, for the question. So our solution is at tier 8, 9, meaning it's built on major proven technologies already validated in real-world industrial environments. These capabilities are not experimental. They are actively deployed in serial production across multiple actors, demonstrating consistent performance, reliability, and scalability. It's market-ready solution engineered for fast, reliable integration into complex operational systems such as rail infrastructure and rolling stocks. So this is the first question. And the second one?
The second one, what types of collaboration is BIC currently looking for from potential partners?
Okay, so we as BIC are actively seeking a broad range of strategic partnerships to accelerate innovation across sectors. We are particularly interested in collaborating with industrial partners, pilot users, scaling and industrialization partners. Our priority is to build a long-term collaboration that combines deep engineering expertise with practical real-world implementation. This approach allows us to move faster from concept to deployment and drive meaningful impact across the entire rail ecosystem. So if you are interested, we can have a dedicated meeting and join our forces.
All right, thank you. Coming back to TXO, 3 important questions. One question, when do you send off for recycling? Do you know what happens with the remainder of the materials aside from copper, the plastics, etc.?
Yes, thank you for the question. We track everything within our system, and for example, in terms of the plastic, we know that they're recycled for the traffic components. So when you build a
a construction site, barriers,
a construction site,
the foundations. Yeah.
So these big black plastic foundations, they're usually made from the recycled plastic from the copper cables. And so we have a very clear understanding of what happens with different streams and have it all in our systems. The main challenge, I would say, currently is in the first phase, so the potential analysis, that we often come across the process of along the work, we identify more and more and more potential, which we didn't know in the beginning. So it makes it much harder for us in the work to kind of rearrange and find, oh, we can also change that, or we can use, or we can, I don't know, have new sources found within the work we haven't previously found in the potential analysis. So our customers often only have a vague understanding of the potential they have, and they don't really know what they need to show us, or they call us a bit too late. So a lot of things have already taken place or have already been done. And so that's why we try to get in as soon as possible to get kind of the first approach and say, okay, let's see what you have here. And then we mostly get the most out of the whole process. And that in terms of money also leads to, more revenue in the end for the customers.
Yeah, next question. What are the main challenges across the life cycle that you work with?
Oh, I tried to answer that one already.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
So the challenges right now is mainly in the first part, and it has also to do with the fact that we come from kind of the back end, right? So we come from the transport, the logistical parts, and that's kind of our foundation. That's what we do for almost 20 years now. So we are very proficient in this regard, and moved our service more to the front, to the planning and organization phase. And that's where I think the main challenges currently are.
Okay, the last question I may answer directly, because I met TXO, Mats and Eike several weeks ago in Berlin during one event, like an innovation talk show, and very inspiring and interesting. And I get with them into contact. And so they were suggested by our cluster, by the Berlin-Brandenburg Transport, Mobility and Logistics cluster, which are also not doing only railways, but also automotive and logistics and intelligent mobility and aerospace. And so they are now part of our club for them at the moment. And as you saw from one of the slides presented by Mats, they are present in different countries, including the United Kingdom. So we want to establish also some context to our 3 British ERCI member clusters, and I guess there will be a future for TXO inside our member clusters of ERCI. So my question, are there additional questions from the audience? Now maybe it's too late to indicate it into the chat, but you might simply raise your hand and ask a question. I wait for 5 seconds. No question anymore, but for sure we will send a follow-up email with also the contact data of the presenters, so that you are every time able to raise additional questions to them. So conclusion. The conclusion are 2 slides. The first slide is the conclusion of the Hack and Match event, the upcoming Hack and Match event. Let's get started as the headline. The most important dates are the call for challenges from 18th May to 12th of June, the call for solutions from 15th June to 10th of July, the 2 days Hack and Match online event on 21st and 22nd of July. Then we give the jury 1 week time to evaluate the contributions from this Hack and Match events from the teams consisting of challenge providers and solution providers. And hopefully we have the result by the end of July, in order to have some time to invite the winning teams to the awarding ceremony during the Transport Technology Fair, the worldwide most important transport technology fair on Innotrans in Berlin. And the awarding ceremony will be between the 22nd and the 25th of September. So there is one request from the chat from Angus. Please share this event with your network for sure. This will also be external and guests, so you can for sure also make some efforts to promote this opportunity to participate. And as Irina said, participation is completely free of charge. So
yeah, thank you. No, also we will
yes.
Sorry, just to interrupt quickly. Yeah,
Yes,
we'll be sharing it. We'll be sharing it through through both networks, LinkedIn, I suppose, and then also through email as well.
Yeah.
For further promotion. But also, yeah, I guess the more that people share, then the more potential solutions there are for your challenges. So yeah, it helps everybody. But yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for this additional words, Angus. And I guess we were a good team as the moderators of this webinar today. And yeah, the recording of the webinar will be available in a few days at least at the YouTube channel of the European Railway Clusters Initiative. And we will provide you the link to the recording with a follow-up email as soon as possible. And yeah, the last slide is to say thank you very much for your attention. And we will have next ERCI webinars, not with ELCA, but I'm very sure that we will have also in the future webinars together with ELCA. And the next milestone is for sure to have the joint Hack and Match event. Thank you very much and goodbye. Have a nice day.